Alright, now that I've had this running, I know it works good, I'm going to go ahead and drain some of this oil here out of this so that it has fresh oil. Ooh. I'm assuming there's supposed to be oil in there. None is coming out though, so that's not a good sign. Ooh, that's really cruddy. Real cruddy looking. It's really brown. So that's definitely going to need replaced before we do anything else with it. I'm not sure what this is, but we're going to go ahead and take this off and see what it does here. Nothing in that either. The water flush. There's one more screw on the other side here that I'm going to check to see if there's maybe oil in here. If not, this thing is completely out and hopefully there's no damage to it. Yeah, no, this isn't. That's not for oil, I don't think. Pretty tight. May have to re-sturdy this up with a. Might have to re-sturdy up the base. I cut this cross member that goes across here in order to put the bucket underneath it so we can test it in water. But now it kind of shakes a little bit more, so I'm gonna try and add something across the middle. Across the middle here to help sturdy it up. Okay, so I took the lower end off. You can see here there's two screws in the back, or I guess the front. Propellers on down here, so they're opposite side of the propeller, and there's a little slot nut, I guess you would call it, that will slide up into there, and that's what holds this on, and then this goes up. There's a little square end here. I'm assuming that's what goes up into actual engine and attaches to the engine. And it doesn't look like there's anything that can transfer water up, as far as I can tell. And that little hole actually allows water in, so water goes all the way up and down. I gotta look and see if that's what it's supposed to be or not. That allows water in. So I gotta look at how that actually works, because I'm assuming that there should be nothing that takes water up. It doesn't look like there would be. with how it rotates and everything. Yeah, I'm gonna keep kind of tearing it apart and see where it takes me. I'm gonna try and find some more manuals for this specific motor, because there didn't seem to be any oil in there, but it seemed like, I mean, I know there should be, so I don't know if maybe it only goes up from the bottom screw to the screw, but that's what I'm going to try and check and hopefully figure out soon. Can't really see it with the camera. But there is, I just looked down in there and it does look like there's actually a pipe that runs up down from this area all the way up to about there, and then there's a little hole inside that lines up with what I'm assuming is this hole here, and so the water goes up into there. So it does look like it is water cooled. From there, it might come out there, or it might go all the way down through here, out the bottom here. That's what I've read. Doesn't seem to be like doesn't seem to be super airtight, but we'll figure that out later and see if we can get the impeller replaced on this as well. I'm gonna start taking this apart and work on finding out what we need. Alright, shear pin, rod. This is where the water intake goes in. If I forget, bottom's on this side, top's on this side. I'm gonna try and put them back in the same hole. If I forget, I may not, but Alright, the shear pins. They're pretty tight. Let's try to use some clamps or pliers, grips, whatever you want to call them. Alright, there's the shear pin. I'm gonna wipe this off. Right out. Shear pin goes there. Well, pulled this out now. Hopefully it will go back in somewhat easily. Alright, I checked with a little magnet to make sure there wasn't any washers or anything down there. Doesn't look like it. So hopefully we can still get this apart. Ooh. I don't know if you can see that, but that's some gunky looking stuff right there. That should not look like that. Hopefully you can see that. It's like milkshake. That should be really oily. Okay. Again, hopefully. Alright, so this little piece that's around the shaft here, it's kind of hard to tell. It's kind of an oblong shape, and this goes over top of it. So this goes up on there like that, or possibly like that. That's really the only way it fits in there. And as this moves around, it's kind of hard to tell. As this moves around, I think that's what, yeah, can't really see it very good. Oof. That's some bad stuff right there. That's not good. So I think that this might actually be the impeller of some sort. I've never seen this kind before. I haven't done too much working on boat motors. But yeah, it's kind of a weird shape here. Normally it spins around, but this looks like it kind of just goes like this, squeezes and back and forth and allows the water and compresses it. So it seems to be in pretty good shape. It's pretty oily, bouncy. Water flush. Oil change reservoir. Let's hope we can get some out of there. Oh God, that is awful. That is bad. Oh. Yeah. That's probably been in there for some time. Oh my God. I can't really can see it dripping out from there. That's really bad. This motor's going to be running happier one way or the other. It looks like grease more than oil. That's bad. This little piece goes Alright, I got it all cleaned up. I drained all the fluid out of here that was super thick, and there's actually a reason that it may have been thick. So it was a little more chunky than it should have been, but because these are old motors, the bearings aren't sealed as good as newer motors are nowadays, and so the thicker fluid in here is so that it doesn't leak through the bearing itself. And so that's why it was likely coming out in that soupy looking mess. In the next video, we will add the gear lube here and fill it up, and we'll see what this looks like. I haven't opened it yet, but in the next video, we'll show that and see how that goes.